So hi, welcome to Guys Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm
and
Glory.
we're here with.
Faith of Pennyboard.
There are some questions today about the upcoming EP On Board. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Feels pretty good. I'm still really nervous as always, but I'm really excited about it.
Hell yeah.
Damn right.
The EP fucking rocks.
It's so good.
And
Thank you
of,
guys.
of course, and it's awesome to see Open Your Ears records behind you this time around. When I heard before it was announced that you signed there, I was like, that is a fantastic signing, and I'm very stoked for all parties involved because they're great. You're great. I think it's a great pairing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been really exciting working with them, and yeah, I love it.
Hell yeah.
Damn right. So is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
So for the title, I just kept like saying in writing sessions like I'm bored. Like I just want to like do something different than like what I normally write. And so I'd always kind of wanted to start leaning in more of a pop direction. So I just figured it was just like the perfect name for it. As far as the artwork goes, I'm a huge fan of trinkets. It's been like a theme in a lot of my art in the past. So um my twin actually made a lot of the art, and she was like living in New York at the time and I live in Texas. So we were trying to figure out ways to like make some sort of art where I didn't have to do like a whole photo shoot without her. And this just seemed to be like the best way to do it. So
Gotcha.
Wonderful.
Do any of the trinkets like connect to any of the songs in any sort of way, or is it just like found a bunch of
yeah,
shit?
so there's actually more art that will be released later on, but they're just like a lot of trinkets that definitely correlate with like the music videos or just like some of the lyrics. And then a lot of the trinkets are like childhood trinkets or like stuff from like my grandma's jewelry is in it. So just things that have like a lot of like personal meaning to me.
Gotcha. Hell yeah.
That's good.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the EP?
Yeah, so this one was it was kind of interesting. I was really struggling to like write a full song for some reason. And so a lot of these I was just writing like little bits and pieces here and there. So I waited until I got into the studio and I just kind of like puzzle pieced everything together. And then once we started doing that, I was like, okay, wait, I want to change this. And then all of the ideas like started coming together. But yeah, there is one that's not out yet called Disconnected, and it's that was just like a voice memo that I just let everything out, and yeah, and we just wrote around it. So
Yeah.
really excited about that one.
Hell yeah. Who
That's
did so was it like because obviously you kind of just went in with bits and bobs and kind of finished them up in the studio. Was it all with one producer?
Yeah, with Jojo Centineo, he
The
worked on a lot of
best.
my previous stuff, and he just gets it. He like knows the vibe. He is so supportive if I'm like want to change things up. If we start writing a whole song and I'm like, I'm not really feeling it, let's start over. He's supportive, and yeah,
Yeah.
just love working with him.
Hell yeah. He crushes the sound. We had originally met him because of Danny Goo. He does his stuff as well. So
Yeah.
I think he just kind of crushes this kind of subgenre within the culture, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. So what song off the EP took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Ooh, okay. It took the longest to write. I think maybe Gossip. I had that little cheer part written for like over a year. Just literally thought I would never use it. And then we started writing it in the studio, and I just like I could not write this song, and I don't know why. And I had to go back several times and like try to figure it out. And now it is my favorite one. So
Okay. All right. Um, did you ever kind of figure out why that song was taking so long, or is it just kind of like it was a bitch
I
and you
just
eventually got through it?
I just like was I wasn't used to like writing something like that, but I knew I wanted to. And then I finally just had to tell myself like this is a pop song and you cannot take it this seriously. Like just write it. If it sounds cheesy, like literally who
Yeah,
cares?
it's the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the whole
Got,
point.
gotcha. So for this question, I want you to pick your favorite lyric off the EP and tell us the meaning behind it.
Ooh, can I pick two?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I guess in gossip, if only you knew what this meant to me, I think there's just like a lot of times in my friendships, any sort of relationship really, where there's just a lot going on, and I don't think people really like I wish people could understand like the time that we spend together. I really wish they knew like how much it like actually meant to me rather than it just being like, oh, it's good to see you. Like, no, it was actually really good to see you and I enjoyed spending time with you and you taking time out of your day and yeah, things like that. And then in Disconnected, I have a line that just says like, are you even listening? Because a lot of times I just like put my art out there and I'm like, is anyone paying attention or am I just doing this and no one's here?
Mhm.
Which I think is what a lot of artists can relate to. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
On
for sure.
that note, obviously very, TikTok very important in this day and age, being an artist, and you crush the content game. So I'm curious,
yeah.
like, how do you find that balance of like being an artist, being a content person, also having to have your own personal life? Like, how do you balance all of that?
The longer I do this, the more difficult it becomes. It used to be so easy, and but now as I'm getting older, um, it's just it's been a little difficult. I have to like definitely set aside time to like film bulk amounts of content.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But as long as I do that, I'm good to go. I
Okay.
just like write ideas down as I go. So
Cool. So you don't like
Sure.
by scheduling out the time, you're not like finding yourself hitting a wall, because I feel like that's some things that artists also struggle with if they're booking out the time for that.
Mhm.
yeah, so I'll usually just tell myself like, okay, like once every 2 weeks you like gotta film something or you have to take your music videos and cut them up into little TikToks or whatever.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So yeah, I usually always have about 2 weeks of content ready to go at all times.
Gotcha. That's
Damn.
good.
Efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this EP?
All over the place, really. While I was writing these songs, I was going through a lot of friendship breakups. So it was really difficult. You know, am in my late 20s, and it's just been such a weird time for me and just trying to like navigate everything. And so I really took the time to like reflect on like everything that I've been through. I've been through like a lot of like really hard things that I've like never talked about on the internet.
Mhm.
And yeah, just took the time to reflect and talk about how much I've changed and yeah, just kind
Mm,
of like reflect on my growth.
Gotcha. So a reflection
mhm.
EP.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. All
That's
right.
nice.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends and dark with headphones on? Is it workout EP, party EP? What do you personally recommend?
I think this would be best if you grab like your closest friends and you have like a listening party and like
Mhm.
really listen to it. Yeah, especially if in your late 20s because it'll hit different.
Okay.
So,
Very relatable.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
um, I've heard this question before and I like tried to mentally prepare for this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll go with sassy,
Mm-hmm.
honest, and I don't know why preppy just like really comes to mind. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
All
it.
right. In that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the EP?
I guess just like keep an open mind with it, especially if you've been a Pennyboard listener for a while. This is definitely kind of a new sound. It's not too different, but it's I wouldn't really consider it like pop punk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, just keep an open mind with it.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of this EP, positive or negative?
I mean, as far as like getting everything together with this, it felt like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. Like as far as like
Oh,
scheduling for like music videos and things like that. We were like in crunch time. The Dance in Hell music video we had to film in 4 hours and
whoa.
yeah, it was wild. We had like very minimal people in our crew, but we like made it work. I did feel like I was gonna lose my mind by the end of it, but it came out beautifully. We all worked really hard on it and we were also supportive of each other. So
Good. I'm so happy to
God
hear that.
damn. A full
mm.
music video in 4 hours. Wild.
Headache.
Yeah. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Popcorn, always.
You got a special flavor of popcorn? I know they're going crazy out there right now.
The white cheddar popcorn. My
Damn
favorite.
right. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, fuck with it. And if your project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
Ooh,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think I've said like soup before because there's like variety or something, but
Mhm.
I don't know. There's got to be something with variety or like
Yeah.
what is it? Like a rice bowl, you know?
Oh,
You just
yeah.
like mix and match and do whatever you want.
All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That sounds good.
Now for these last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink? I know we've asked you these questions in the past, but usually for our third interview, we ask placing the band in a horror movie, and it is a solo project, so that would be kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so specific. I would say like Spanish rice, but it has to be cooked by like one of my family members, like my Thea. Like
Mhm.
it's just the best and it's comforting.
Okay. All right, and a
Yeah,
drink
right.
with that?
I love soda. Any soda, really. Probably. I like Pepsi a lot. Cherry Pepsi, let's go with that.
All right,
Damn
yeah.
right.
I also big fan of soda. It has fucked up my teeth irreversibly.
Oh my
It's so
God.
bad. I have a problem.
Yeah, I started getting the cavities. I'm like, all right, that's it. I gotta cut back now.
It's over.
Yeah.
Man. Holy shit. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh man. I actually just read this book called The Starless Sea, and I don't really know how to explain it. It's quite a trip, but I would definitely go there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we'll take your
Okay.
word for it.
Yeah.
And I've not advanced the last question. Every single person I've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Right now, red.
Specific shade of
Solid.
red?
Just like bright red.
Hmm.
Hell yeah. All right. So as I said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Get your merch. We have really cute merch. Listen to the songs and do what makes you happy. So
Hell yeah. All right.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you for sound. It's been Penny Board, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.